As you set your fantasy football lineups for Week 5, it's important to know which players to exploit and which ones to avoid, and that's where we're here to help. Joined by fantasy expert Mike Wilkeny. And Mike, there are two tight ends this week that you're saying fantasy owners should exploit in their lineups. One guy a veteran, a guy we all know, another a youngster.
Antonio Gates has been a must-start for fantasy owners for many, many years. He struggled this season, 124 yards in 3 games. Some owners might be kind of wondering what to do with him. I think you play him this week. The Saints defense is really struggling. I also think you need to get your other Chargers pass catchers in that lineup, Malcolm Floyd, etc. The other tight end I really like this week is Kyle Rudolph of Minnesota, and this is another great matchup. Tennessee has had all sorts of problems against tight ends this year. I remember Dante Rosario in Week 2 going off for 3 touchdowns, Gronkowski and Hernandez in Week 1, Owen Daniels last week. Rudolph had 3 touchdowns in a 2-week span earlier this season. I think he's a guy you need to get into your lineup.
Yeah, that game, Minnesota-Tennessee, we didn't know the Vikings were going to be 3-1 heading into that game, and Kyle Rudolph, a part of that offense, has certainly improved. Now, looking at players to avoid this week, Mike, you're talking those Panthers running backs. Always a question what to do with those guys. D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart. You say go ahead and avoid both of them this week against Seattle.
If you can. Again, I know with bye weeks, it's a situation where you may not have the luxury to sort of avoid certain guys, but if you've got good running back depth, maybe you think twice about the Carolina running backs. You're looking at a Seattle run defense, 62.8 rushing yards allowed per game, 3 yards per carry. So they're very stingy up front. So again, if you've got other options, maybe you look at those other options this week.
And the last one on our list to avoid this week is Bills quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick, playing a tough defense in the 49ers this week.
You know, I think this is kind of a league rules refresher sort of suggestion because, look, the San Francisco defense is outstanding. I know Fitzpatrick might be a bye week option. Tony Romo, Matt Stafford on bye. But look, I just think he's a little too mistake prone, and this is too tough a matchup to start him with great confidence.
The Bills are going to be playing from behind. That run defense for 49ers might make things difficult for Fred Jackson, C.J. Spiller, forcing Fitzpatrick to throw, and that might not be a good option against San Francisco. To see the rest of the players that Mike says you should exploit and avoid this week in Week 5 of fantasy football, check out his article on our website, ProFootballWeekly.com.